That looks great.
All right, everybody. That was just a couple of little cuts I just put together real quick for everybody to see as an intro today. Kind of messed up. I didn't put it as a full screen. You saw us watching it, but doesn't matter. It's all raw. There's a few scenes from the new episode that I will get a premiere this Sunday. And of course, I kept some of the main stuff out of that. So if you think that's the main stuff, technically there's some more main characters in it that I didn't want nobody to see. But you got to figure it out on your own anyway. That's coming up this Sunday. Guys, everybody, was there ever in life an alien invasion? Have people been invaded by aliens? I'm talking about like, shootings or you against them. Because there is.
Well, yes, Eric, there has been.
Sure. Are we sure? Now, there's all different kind of stories, but one of the most fascinating ones is right there in Kentucky, the Hopkinsville Goblins, the Kelly-Hopkinsville encounter in Christian County, Kentucky. And it's kind of interesting because now, I'm thinking about that story, and you have that awesome friend, buddy, that lives in Kentucky that's been getting a lot of UFO sightings and all those wonderful footage.
Wesley.
Yeah. Does Presley live anywhere near where that incident happened?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. I'm not
sure.
I
don't know why I was just thinking about it. I'm like, God, I think that awesome guy that's been on my show and Anthony's, I think he is from Kentucky. I'm like, I wonder how far away he's from that. I'm not saying what he's saying is related connection to that area, but if you believe that, if you believe in the UFOs from outer space, if you do believe in aliens, maybe this is all speculation, this is all theory. I don't know for a fact, but maybe aliens themselves have certain spots on this planet that they continue to go back to. I mean, think about Kentucky. There's a lot of country land in Kentucky.
Oh yeah, it's
beautiful. A lot of good places to hide, not just horse derby races and all that. I mean, there's a lot of good places. This like deserts and stuff. I mean, if you're going to explore a planet, you probably got to rest. Like us, I'm guessing, they probably hide out in places like Kentucky, Montana, the Idahos, where there's more land than there is people.
Matter of fact,
you never know.
He literally just this second sent me a UFO clip and said, check this out, Anthony, Wesley. Just as you and I are talking about him. Second. That's insane.
You should text him back. Ask him how far away is he from the Hopkinsville. Since he sent in that footage, but I'll put on, guys, if you don't know the story of Hopkinsville. Well, hold on a second. I think there it is. This is breaking news. This is actually footage that just got sent to Anthony.
From Tennessee. That was it.
Oh, you see can you see the big white light? And you saw
the one on top shooting across.
One shooting. Okay, the one that's just shooting straight across. I thought the other one was moving too. The one that he passes by.
Once it gets over the middle of the big bright one, it looks like it gets a little larger. Yeah, it does.
Is it? And it looks like once it goes over the one behind it, it gets the white
got a
little brighter.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's like more than one dot there. Like it's almost like a triangle, triple dot, right?
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's
crazy.
When you get a chance to dissect it, open it bigger because it looks like there's more than one dot.
That's the only size. That's the size it is. I sent you the exact size it came. What do you want me to ask him?
How far away does he live by that Hopkinsville Goblins area? It's supposed to be in Kentucky. I'm curious. I'm just, 20 miles, 50 miles, 100. I'm just curious. Like, I'm not trying to connect both together, but it would be interesting to know. So people in the chat, here's a video about the incident.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Monsters of Folklore. Today, we're going to be discussing the Kelly-Hopkinsville encounter, also known as the Hopkinsville Goblins case. and apparently to like a lesser known extent. It's also called the Kelly Greenman case. It's the name given to a series of connected incidents of alleged close encounters with aliens.
Before I go forward, do you know if that image is the image that Disney did in that alien movie they made, Lilo and Stitch?
That's a good question.
It kind of looks like. It almost looks like. I think the alien must be named Stitch. Maybe actually, what does Stitch look?
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and I want to look at the image.
I'll find out for you.
Here we go. Images. Because here I'm gonna re-put the video back on, but I just want to look at Lilo and Stitch. If you look at this,
well, Stitch is blue. Yeah, I don't think so.
It's blue, but if you put green,
it's an alien disguised as a dog. I know that.
I mean, almost just.
Apparently, there were dozens of eyewitnesses to these incidents, which included 2 families present at the farmhouse and others in the area, some of whom had no connection to the families at the farmhouse. Perhaps most significantly, the witnesses also included several local policemen and a state trooper who saw and heard strange phenomena such as unexplained lights in the sky and noises the same night. The 7 people present in the farmhouse claimed that they were terrorized by an unknown number of creatures similar to gremlins or goblins, which have since often been referred to as the Hopkinsville Goblins. In popular culture, though, the residents of the farmhouse described them as around 3 feet tall, with upright pointed ears, thin limbs. The being's legs were said to be almost non-functional or devolved, even in a state of paralysis. Long arms and claws like hands or talons. The creatures were either silver in color or wearing some kind of metallic armor. Now, their movements on occasion seemed to defy gravity, with them floating above the ground and appearing in high places, and they walked with a swaying motion as though they was walking through water. Now, although the creatures never entered the house, they would pop up the windows and at the doorway, waking up the children in the house to a crazy frenzy. The families fled the farmhouse in the middle of the night to the local police station, and Sheriff Russell Greenwell noted that they were visibly shaken. I would be too if you have weird goblins at your doorstep. Now, the families returned to the farmhouse with Sheriff Greenwell.
Looks like what?
When the gremlins get wet. Remember the movie The Gremlins?
Yeah, somebody also wrote that here in the chat. Was this inspired for Gremlins?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what here? Right here, he wrote, "Was this the inspiration behind Gremlins?" The look, probably, yeah.
Yeah, the look. It does look like that.
Yeah, it does look like, yeah, because you can't. Is it? Okay, water multiplies, and then if they eat after midnight.
Midnight, right?
They go into a cocoon and they become actual gremlins.
And 20 officers who came with him. Yet the occurrences still continued regardless. Police saw evidence of the struggle and damage to the house, as well as seeing strange lights and hearing noises themselves. Now, the witnesses additionally claimed to have used firearms to shoot at these creatures, with little or no to effect. Now, in the house and surrounding areas were extensively damaged during the incident, like the ground and things like that. The crazy thing is, though, this is essentially like a word-of-mouth story, because there are no pictures of the Hopkinsville Goblins at all. These type of stories.
Oh, it's 1947, right? So why would there be pictures?
There's police reports.
No, actually, what year this I forgot what year this happened.
I thought this was in the 60s.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I'm gonna look it up real quick, people. I want to see what year this is. I had it written down. I almost forgot. Let me see here. I'm typing it in. There we go. Let me see. Enter. Let me see if it tells me a year. Begins in 1955. So nobody's gonna have pictures. Nobody will have a camera with them to so that they got to take that part out. Now nowadays you can say, why wasn't there a picture? Because everybody has cell phones. Everybody has some kind of a camera around them now. But back in that day, come on, nobody's gonna have a camera.
Your sightings, whatever you want to call them, they're pretty unique because, I mean, you really honestly don't know if it's real or not. Are aliens real? It's really hard to tell. Are goblins real? Crazy looking gremlins? You never really know. I mean, it's hard to tell these day and ages. But have you ever heard of the Hopkinsville Goblins? If you have, let me know. It was a pretty unique little, sighting story.
If you seriously think about it, okay, you got these creatures. You could probably call them a cryptid. It's not automatically if those creatures are real. Just say everybody in the chat. Just say they're real. Doesn't mean they're from outer space. I mean, they saw lights and stuff, but maybe those lights
were just flying around.
Maybe those creatures create the lights or something. Doesn't necessarily mean they're from outer space. Maybe they're just like cryptids on this planet that, along with other cryptids.
They were flying around when they got shot. They were shooting at them with rifles, and they wouldn't go. They would go down and come right back up, and they would hop from one spot to the next. They jumping on the roofs and stuff. It was a crazy story.
It is, and cops even verified that there was damage on the house and stuff like that. That's the thing. It was verified by the police that got called out there.
They were shooting through the walls of the cabin at them. So, I mean, who would want to screw up their house like that? You know what I mean? Firing rounds through the walls and stuff, especially back then.
And those stories that you said, they get shot, they get back up, would tell you that if they did get hit, they must have some kind of a healing, or it bounced off.
Kind of, I don't know, force field or something around them or something. Who knows?
Or maybe their skin are that extra thick where a bullet can't penetrate.
Yeah, I mean,
And the thing is, the town of Kentucky, they have parades.
I'm almost positive though it was a UFO incident though.
Let's see, maybe my next video here, because this one is based off of that alien legends and Eclipse frenzy in the Kelly. So let's see here.
Eclipse and the legend of what happened on a Kentucky farm are about to collide. Here's ABC's Clayton Sandell.
Blink and you might miss Kelly, Kentucky. But now a cosmic coincidence is putting this community of just 300 at the dark center of Eclipse frenzy. It's all happening on the 62nd anniversary of the night in 1955 when aliens supposedly terrorized a family farmhouse. Geraldine Sutton Stitt's father was there.
It affected all of them. My Uncle JC couldn't even hold down a job after that. And Dad, I mean, he didn't want to talk about it.
Investigators never found any proof. One suggested the aliens arrived in a bottle of Kentucky moonshine. But the story made Kelly famous, inspiring UFO enthusiasts and even Steven Spielberg when he made E.T.
E.T. These stories do influence the world,
So it did inspire Disney then.
It could. I mean, I can see where... Listen, a lot of stories generate from somewhere. Like Gremlins probably got the idea from it. Gremlins is actually Steven Spielberg didn't. I didn't think he directed Gremlins. I think he produced it. But Gremlins, E.T., of course, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, of course.
Great movie.
And his influence. I bet you the guy drawing Lilo and Stitch thought of I probably could have sat there and say, remember the Goblin? I'm going to draw a little bit like the Goblin, but more towards the dog.
You never know, man. Yeah, right.
So these stories, these incidents do inspire stories that people just don't think about. But I didn't even think about E.T. until I saw that. Like, oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Kelly is hoping to cash in on the eclipse with the Little Green Men Days Festival.
We're raffling off a Mitsubishi Eclipse car,
raising money to build their first ever community center. And during that 2 minutes, 40 seconds of darkness, some wonder if just maybe those aliens might come back.
I'll have my little glasses on. I'm going to be like, okay, try to watch. Okay.
So I guess during that battle against them, it was also during an eclipse.
I guess so. That's the first time I'm hearing of that.
It's interesting because they talk about the eclipse, and I'm like thinking, like, I never heard about the eclipse before, but
Me neither.
but if it happens during the eclipse, that's interesting too. Because if these things are intelligent, I mean, and if they flew here, they must be intelligent. Like, if we're going to attack a farm or do something, that's the when it's dark. This is not dark time. With the eclipse come, that's the time we invade.
Or could it have been one of them weird, like every 1,000 years or something, the eclipse happens, a portal opens up, and another dimension opens up, and these weird goblins came through or something. Who the hell knows? Could be some weird scenario like that.
Yeah.
They're not here yet, are they?
Normally, just a few thousand people show up here, but this time they expect 20,000.
Wow.
And perhaps...
Listen to that, people. 20,000 people. And this is in Kentucky. This ain't around major cities like New York, Los Angeles, and all that. 20,000 people. Guys, that's their
bread and butter, that town.
That's a baseball game. That's a concert. I mean, that's arena concerts can hold 20,000 people.
Yo, Eric, we got to go there next year and sell T-shirts. We'll be rich. 20,000 people selling our T-shirts out there.
Oh,
forget it. We'll make a killing.
We'll make a big time killing, even at a discount. If we sold one to every 20,000 people,
kidding me,
man.
$5 a shirt will be loaded.
Close Encounters. I watched it again. Saw it when it first came out.
Great movie, man.
Oh yeah.
Best part's when half his face gets tan in the car.
Yep. Oh yeah.
More. Clayton Sandell, ABC News, Kelly, Kentucky.
Our special eclipse coverage tomorrow. I'm Tom Yamison.
You know what's so neat about Close Encounters of the Third Kind? When you first watch as a kid, you don't realize all the side little stories of it, like the desert, the ships, and all that, the bombers. Then you get a little older, you learn that's the famous bombers that went missing.
That's right. That's right.
And when you first saw it as a kid, you don't know those side stories, but you're like, wow, when they wrote this, they use that incident.
Well, J. Allen Hynek produced. He was one of the producers on there from Project Blue Book. They hired him, so that's where all those little Easter eggs come from.
Oh, look at that! Judy Willard just become a sponsor. That's awesome.
Judy,
tell me, I didn't know. I didn't know that. So let me give you this to you. And I apologize, people. Sometimes you're on StreamYard, you don't know if somebody does something unless. I'm surprised the Stream Element told me. That's awesome that you're a sponsor. Here we go. That is awesome. So is this the same one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different one. This one is the son of talking about the father during this incident. So it's kind of interesting to listen to the kids talk about what they think, what their father saw. Now, don't get me wrong. Most kids, not all, but most people will always agree with the parents, what they saw and stuff. So just take that with a grain of salt. So, but it is interesting to see what the kids think of it.
Geraldine Sutton-Stith and Elmer Sutton say with their father's claim of an alien encounter in Kelly, Kentucky, the attention came pouring in. Articles reported claims of a spaceship, of little men.
Dad did not like the attention that it's brought.
After everybody laughing at the family, ridiculing the family, he didn't want to talk about it.
He said, no good can come of this story. He said, we need to let it go.
It was 1955.
That is interesting because, of course, this is back in 1955. You really don't want these kind of stories to get out. So it sounds like to me he was not trying to get this story out. This story must have got out because I'm sure that Anthony, you probably answered this. So if a police gets called out, they automatically have to do a report on why they got called out, like the whole incident. And then when you turn in a report to the police station, all that, and when it gets put away, doesn't that become where any citizens can look that up? Like Like if you do a report of an incident,
You
you
would need
turn
to
it
fill
in.
out like a request to get the information. Like if you're a journalist or something like that.
So yeah, so somebody could, so
Like
anybody,
public
not just
information?
anybody, but somebody could put in a request. So I can see where the police went out there. They probably talked about it, and a reporter heard something about it, put in a request, and they're the ones who actually pushed out the story, not the family themselves. Because it sounds like hearing from them, the father didn't want this
Didn't
out
want
there.
to talk about it. Yeah, I would assume that the media, went sniffing around and got the story out. It doesn't sound like the family was interested. They were looking to keep it hush hush from what it sounds like.
And that, that means a lot, because that tells you right there that they weren't doing this to make
Yeah,
money.
it lends more credibility to the story.
Yeah. And once police gets called out, you're going to get a report done. I mean,
There's just too many sightings for all of them to be BS. You know what I mean? There's just too many.
what else they say?
The family property was sold 2 weeks later, and Lucky Sutton rarely spoke about the story the rest of his life.
Don't make fun of them, say, oh, it was a hoax just to get attention. My dad wasn't like that.
Then, a few years ago, it became known this area would be the primary viewing destination of the Great American Solar Eclipse. The date of the eclipse, August 21st, is the exact same date as the Sutton family story from 1955.
People are scared to death.
Yeah, there it is. We confirm it on another video that story did happen during an eclipse.
No, didn't he just say it happened again during an eclipse?
Yeah, let me rewind it a little bit. Let me see here.
Something happened again? Or did I miss?
August 21st.
Let me go back a little bit.
The area would be the primary viewing destination of the Great American Solar Eclipse. The date of the eclipse, August 21st, is the exact same date as the Sutton family story from 1955.
People are scared to death that they're going to come back during the eclipse. And will they? Who knows?
I tell you this, my dad ran them off the first time. I believe I can run them off the second time.
In 62 years, a culture's developed around Kelly.
It's incredible. The people that have embraced it, love it, believe it. Our story is getting up there with Roswell.
This year's Kelly Little Green Mendays Festival will happen alongside the eclipse. A story her father hated. Geraldine's not sure what he'd make of what it's become.
I got to believe maybe he has embraced it wherever he's at, and he's okay with it. We weren't in the picture there.
But Geraldine and Elmer say they're glad to share that story of a normal place and a normal man. And that August night that changed everything.
Our family went through something. It actually happened to this little family, Kelly, in 1955. They had an encounter with something.
And Kelly, I'm Forrest Sanders, News 4.
Why did they come, though? That's the question I would love to know. What was the purpose for the visit of them, and why did they stop at that house? Did something happen with their craft? Did a portal open up and that's just where they ended up?
What if
they went out exploring? I would love to know.
What if, I'm just saying, what if they were there for an abduction and they weren't expecting these people to have weapons and guns, and getting shoot at. Maybe they're like, okay, this is too dangerous. Okay, let's get out of here. I mean, who knows? Like you said, who knows? I mean, you're right. They surrounded, they did damage to the house, but they didn't finish what they were doing. But why did they finish? Why were they there? I think maybe they had the firearms and probably just like, this ain't worth it. It's interesting. It is very
maybe they were juvenile aliens and they were like, hey, we're here. Let's just screw around with these people and have some fun. Like when we were kids throwing eggs at our neighbors' houses and stuff like that. Maybe they were just some young aliens just out here screwing around, for fun.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Hey, dude, they could be there on a science project to see how we respond.
Right.
Judging us.
Exactly.
And because listen, if you're going to go judge, if you're going to do a science project, or if you're going to study man, you're not going to go into a city.
True.
You're going to probably go out in the country where there's less people. and see what they do, what they are like. It's not like, we go deer hunting, right? You go in the mountains. You don't go in the city to go deer hunting.
Right. That's a good theory, Eric. I like that theory.
Man, it does make you think. Why do
it really does, right?
What's this one? Oh, that's the cartoon. That's cartoon. I was like, what do I have here? And I think I got some breaking news on another UFO invasion or something here. I think there's a news story about what's going on here. Let's check this story out.
Bank of England have announced interest rates are set to
I'm sorry, Paul. I'm going to have to interrupt you there. We're just getting reports of some astonishing breaking news. It appears that an invasion of the Earth by an unknown but vastly powerful extraterrestrial aggressor is underway. Details are sketchy, but reports are pouring in from across the world of vast, metallic, crab-like creatures laying waste to all they encounter.
Is this happening?
So, a massive and unstoppable alien attack threatens the Earth. What's your reaction? Are you affected by the end of civilization as we know it? What's your perspective? Maybe you live on Earth or know someone who does. How do you feel about it? Email us with your thoughts on your imminent molecular evaporation at bbc.co.uk/emergency apocalypse address, all one word, and let us know.
And already this issue seems to be one that's provoked a lot of comment. Lucinda Richards from London asks, will these so-called aliens be required to pay the congestion charge? Somehow I think not. It's one rule for us and another rule for alien beings.
And Gerard from Dover called our letter line number to say, as someone approaching my 80th birthday, I think I'm entitled to comment, 'twas ever thus. I can remember when a certain Mr. Hitler bethought himself to overthrow this sceptred isle, and like him, I think these aliens might find that simple British folk are rather harder to conquer than... And then it just tails off into screams.
A quick update for any of you, for some reason, more interested in the news than what some people who don't know think about the news. London has fallen to the aliens. But more importantly, I can also tell you that Sophie from Manchester says, say what you like about the alien killer crabs, but by God, they can organise an invasion. We have a lot to learn from them, though we'd better be quick.
And lastly, on a lighter note, Carl from Oundle writes, where's Doctor Who when you need him? In fiction, I imagine.
He's right there, worse luck.
Yes, indeed, because we're running out of time, both on the programme and just generally. My producer tells me that the giant alien crabs have breached TV Centre and will imminently vaporise us all.
And remember, if you want to see that for yourself, why not log on to our behind-the-scenes webcam? Simply go to bbc.co.uk/watchusfry, all one word, and click on
all one word.
Business news.
I hope Andy's safe.
Yeah. What's up, Ron?
What's going on, boys? Sorry, but I'm just outside by my mechanic. I'm waiting for him to finish up something, and then I got to run in. But I figure while I'm here, I might as well say hello to everybody. And again, sorry, Eric, that I couldn't make it today.
No, Ron, what do you think about the UK being taken over by aliens now?
I thought that happened a long time ago.
You think they're probing Andy as we speak?
Hopefully.
That's why. Ever since I met Andy, I thought there was an invasion.
Well, since we got you real quick and you got to run inside, what do you know about the Hopkinsville Goblin? Do you know anything extra? We learned that it was during an eclipse. I don't know if there's a relation between having an alien invasion and an eclipse, but do you have any knowledge or anything about eclipse and alien invasion?
Never heard of that.
You never heard of the Kelly-Hopkinsville Goblins?
No.
Really?
Nope.
Wow.
Never heard.
They have just the video. They have huge festivals that they get 20,000 people. They're talking about going to their event because of that incident in 1955.
We're talking about going to sell T-shirts there next year. You coming, Ron? 20,000 people there for a UFO festival?
Oh, I'll learn everything about it for that. Yeah. Hold on, let me back up a little bit.
No, I just learned, Ron, that your car only has like 40,000 whatever miles.
How many miles
on it.
you
What's
got?
wrong
Like
with
40,000 miles, right?
Yeah, right now it has 47.
47.
Yeah.
Is it wrong with it already?
Yeah, but I think a caliper broke because when I got back from Virginia, every time I hit the brake, I hear this grinding, and my brakes are brand new. I mean, brand new. I put them on like 8 months ago, so they're good. and I hear this grinding, and then I have a slow leak in the back tire. I need new tires. So today it's going to be a very expensive day.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So, and oil change and inspection I need. So today's
at least
taking TLC
today.
for the car.
You're doing all 4 tires?
4 tires is between 600 to 1,000, depending on the
your
brand
calipers, you're looking like $1,000 today.
Oh yeah, and then the inspection, oil change, I figure about between $1,000 and $1,200.
Easy.
Yes, 6 to 1,000 for the brake for the tires. Usually oil changes around $75 after taxes.
Yeah. No, this is New York. This isn't California or Seattle.
$90 for an oil
No,
change.
but seriously, then all I know is I already did the math. I think today, with everything I have to do, is about $1,500. So tomorrow night, when I do this show, please, everybody, your super chats will count. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, maybe I'm not. Who knows? But so I'm glad that I'm smiling, but I'm really crying right now.
Well, hey, look, you get it done, your car's good for another couple of years. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Ron,
I
know you're crying because remember 3 weeks ago I had to get a new water heater, and that whole thing, $3,500.
And I did it 3 weeks before you. The new hot water heater, same thing. Expensive.
Yeah. And it's tough because, like here, when you buy tires, so my tires are gonna come out to around about $600 to $800.
Yeah.
But then you got to pay for balancing. Some places don't, like some places, little mom and pop places, they don't have that included.
Yeah.
But no, all these other places, you got to pay for the balancing and this and that and the other. Huh?
Goodyear? What place you went?
No. I'm gonna see if my mechanic can do them, because then he could just run to his place and go get the tires, because he doesn't stock tires. But if we order them, I just didn't want to do that whole ordering crap, and then hopefully they get here, and then if they send the wrong thing, you're screwed. So yeah, I'm gonna see if he can't do today, maybe I'll just go to Pep Boys or something like that and get, I don't know, I'll see. I'll get some all-weather tires or something. But it's annoying, man. It's just that, you know how it is. It's like money every time you try to save and do something and everything. It's not like it comes out to $100. It's always a good pop, you know.
Yeah.
So
it always comes up.
Well, this might make you happy. I don't know if this is gonna make you happy or not. But the story for season 2, episode 1, just got turned in to get made the way I want. And joining us on this next journey for the new season, Gabriel the Archangel is going to be hanging out with us during this mission that's off planet.
Really?
With
nice.
With the return of Davy Jones.
Davy Jones coming back.
You want me to bring it in? All right, I'll do that right now.
Oh, tell him you're live on TV right now, this guy. We're live right now.
But guys, seriously, sorry to jump in and out, but I'm sorry, Eric. So I'll see you all later, but I'll be listening once I turn the car over.
We want you to interview that guy right now. You ask if he believes in UFOs right now.
You ask that guy if he believes in UFOs right now.
That's it. And he's over there. Let me see something. Hold on. They're over there. So they've been taking care of my cars for many, many years. So they're really good guys. Sobe Auto Repair in Brooklyn, baby.
It's cool to see him get abducted right now. Shit comes down.
the whole car and everything.
Hold on. It'd be nice if I actually cleared my windshield. Oh, let me bring this in. I'm doing this on air. Watch me crash the whole friggin' car. Willie Will, what up? All right, guys, I'm going to jump off and not be rude to your audience and everybody. I love you all. All right, guys, bye.
So I didn't tell you this. Christmas Eve on YouTube, there's this app, and it's the news talking, right? And then all of a sudden it goes into, this is not a test, this is an alert. We're under nuclear attack right now, and then it starts beeping. This is not a test. And I had it go on all the TVs in the house at the same time, and everybody's eating, Christmas dinner, and all of a sudden the broadcast goes on all the TVs in my house, and everybody just stops and they're staring at the TV, and I'm just sitting there with my hand in my mouth, like trying not to laugh as hard as I can, because the shit looks real. And bro, it was the funniest thing. Did you ever see that before?
No.
The fake national broadcast. I got to show you this, Erica. It's hysterical, especially when your family believes it.
I want to see this.
This is hilarious. Give me a minute while I find it.
Well, while he looks for it, people, yesterday, where is it? Hold on a second. I'm out of the city. Pooping. That's not the. Just so you guys know, this yesterday, by my house, I live right by this trail, where this trail takes you to the Puget Sound, and what's famous about where I'm at. I mean, famous to me, might not be famous to most people, but over here is the Puget Sound, and the Mary Island incident, when the famous UFO crashed in 1947, I believe, is one of the first places. Also, not just a crash that multiple people have seen. Is one of the first stories of the Men in Black showing up ever. That's the first time the people showed up in a black suit to say, you did not see this. You're going to change your story. It's one of the first stories of that. And this is just me walking the dog in that area.
And once the dog go bathroom, I'll get you guys a little closer.
Right there, the dog, here. The dog went bathroom. It's hard. I know it's hard to tell because I'm on my iPhone.
I'm going to show you guys.
One day I'll bring my real camera.
So that's what I was saying. That's the spot where it actually happened, right? Right there.
Right here behind me, that water right there is where the crash happened. The ship fell into the water. But it's right here behind us. That's the Des Moines. That's the Puget Sound. That's where the crash happened.
Here behind us is where the Mary Island incident has happened. That's where the famous in the 50s trail. Let's go down this trail. So we're gonna walk down this trail here. Oh, look at that.
Right
there. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah. The UFO crash. I know you can't see it behind this tree. There's the like a bridge.
Yeah, because right beneath it, there is a little a bridge where you can walk in the middle. People go fishing. They go crab fishing off the bridge and all that. And I don't want my dog to interrupt their crab fishing. So we were on top of the hill where a lot of people have seen this crash.
In Des Moines Pier.
And there's I'm trying to see. There's a lot of interesting things here.
Come on,
there's a tree. Watch, you'll see this one tree.
Hope you guys isn't that just beautiful?
Oh, there we go. Look at that tree.
Look how tree bent this is. Oh man, I hate.
If you didn't see that tree, it's very interesting how that tree's on the side.
Look at this tree.
Now my dog went under it. I have to crawl under it to get through.
Oh man, I hate this part because I gotta bend down because the dog went under. Right? Look at that tree. Bigfoot. Probably Bigfoot. Bigfoot knew I was coming. Oh, hold on. This might be a bigger open area. Let's see.
Yeah, this is a better scenery area.
No, look. She's bothered. So, just want to give you guys a little heads up. This is where the famous Murray Island.
And the reason I'm only showing this is because people where you live, you'd be surprised you might have stories within your own area that you live in. There might be hidden, and a lot of people. There, some people when I put that out yesterday, there were some people wrote in the comments that they never even heard of the story. That's awesome. If you never heard the story, if I'm the reason why you heard about that story, because that story is interesting, not just because of a crash, because the first story about a Men in Black appearing. That's
the video on the bottom.
There
So just imagine Christmas time. You're all sitting down, and then this happened.
Well, it doesn't.
All the TVs in the house.
So
This is an NBC News special report. Here is Melissa Rayberger.
We have breaking news.
I heard
at
my
this
dog
hour.
crying outside the door.
Okay. So Christmas, I did this, and all the TVs in the house did this at once. And I made everybody think we were under nuclear attack. The whole family stopped.
We interrupt this program. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow.
Can you imagine what in the house doing this at once during Christmas dinner? My family was.
The National
shitting their
Primary
pants.
EAS system has issued a national emergency action notification for the continental United States.
This is not a test.
This station has interrupted its regular program at the request of the U.S. government to participate in the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test.
My family was shitting their pants when this happened.
The National Primary EAS system has issued a national emergency action notification for the continental United States. This station has interrupted its regular program at the request of the U.S. government to participate
And
in
it
the
just keeps
emergency
doing this
broadcast
over
system.
and over and over again. And my parents are like, Marie, I told you this is, my father's like, Marie, I told you this is why you need to go big, Marie, you never listen to me. And my mother's fighting with my father, shut up, Tony, I want to hear the TV, this is important. And because all the TVs at once, I may do this. And I'm just sitting there with my hand on my mouth, cracking up, and I was like, after like 10 minutes, I'm like, all right, and I'm only busting balls. But it was crazy, it was so funny, man. I got them all. It was great.
And nobody thought about, Anthony, is this you?
Nobody thought anything because it looks so real. Because it's a real news report starts and it's talking, Putin just bombed, whatever, and you see the reporter get up and run, and then it goes to like this emergency broadcast system thing. So it all looked, choreographed like perfectly. Oh man, it was great. It was so real. My parents, my family, my grandparents, they were shitting their pants. They didn't know what to do first. And I'm just like crouched down laughing on the couch. It was mad funny.
So when they found out it was you.
Forget it. I got food thrown at me. They would tell me get the fuck out of here. Okay. It was great.
Okay. She won't leave me alone. She won't.
Oh, the baby.
Want to say hi? Want to say hi? Okay.
Oh, she wants to kiss her daddy.
Oh man, so they're trying footage like you bastard. But now you're not gonna be able to pull something like that off again because they're gonna know that you do pull stuff off like that.
The first time I ever did it, and I just happened to be on YouTube, and the show that I would just watch ended, and that came up, and I'm like, oh wow, that looks pretty real. And then I type it in, and I'm looking for like better ones, and I found that one. I'm like, oh, it's going down right now.
I'm gonna pull this one thing up because there's a lot of good, exciting stuff. Actually, when I pulled this one thing up, I'm going to show you guys the trailer for Sunday's premiere cartoon. Those are just some of the scenes that are in the next one, but
Send
there's a
that
lot
to me for tomorrow so I can play it.
And there's a lot that I left out because I don't want to spoil everything right away. But I want to pull up real quick because there's a lot of exciting stuff that's going on Identify S4's channel. I mean, just tomorrow's show, you're going to be talking about
Emery Smith.
Guy. Emery Smith.
Yeah.
As a known fraud. But what's interesting is I'm not going to spoil anything, but interesting is the person in this video you're going to be showing tomorrow on who's exposing it. It's kind of very interesting.
His fiance.
I didn't want to spoil that. I didn't know if you wanted to spoil it or not.
Yeah, so, Corey Good and David Wilcock, Emery Smith, Dr. Greer, it's time for the whole house of cards to go down, I think. And I've been doing my research, vetting all my sources. I have like 10 different sources on this one. And we're going to bring down Emery Smith tomorrow. He's a total fraudster, never been to space. Like Corey Good, that whole secret space program clan, they're all full of shit. And tomorrow we're going to jump onto Emery Smith. So I have like a whole thing put together. Can't think of the word I want to say, but tomorrow's show is going to be great. It's going to be a great show. Tomorrow afternoon, 12 o'clock. It's going to be like documentary style. I put it together. That's what I was thinking of.
I always wonder what goes through these guys' heads because once they even get nailed for lying, like he's already made his millions. So how sorry is he? Because no matter what, even though he got nailed as a fraud, of course you'll talk about that tomorrow. Actually save all that tomorrow because I'm always wondering to him was it still worth it? Because no matter what, he made money.
Well, you know what? The money that they make, never mind on Gaia and all of that, they should have to pay that back.
I would think so too, but they don't.
They should have to refund people and all of that because, you go there thinking that this is all true and real and you're buying tickets for that reason and it's all fraudulent. I could see if they came up front and said, look, this is just a good story. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to tell a lot of bullshit stories about space and whatnot. Come enjoy the event, yada, 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 like a Comic-Con or whatever. Sure, then fine. But people are going there with the idea in their head that this guy was really in a secret space program and that he dissected alien body parts for the U.S. government and all of that stuff. And then when you hear the truth about who he really was, it's kind of mind-blowing. And I can't even imagine the people that really bought into it and really believed all this nonsense to find out, that the guy's a bona fide fraud. Just like Corey Good now, they found out it's a bona fide fraud. Basically ratted himself out.
You never know if the places that he spoke and people paid money,
paid a lot of money.
The truth, finding a law that you can't sue because now this might be a side story, but this story might break open a lot of lawsuits. There was a movie called Yesterday where this guy remembers the Beatles, but the Beatles never existed. Okay, now there was a trailer that was out. There's an actress that's in this trailer that's in 30% in the trailer. Well, these two people, when they finally saw the movie, that actress they saw, I guess they're big, huge fans of this woman. Her scenes were all cut out, but the trailer was never recut.
Okay.
So they actually sued, went to a judge, and the Universal was trying to get the case thrown out. The judge said, nope, there is merit here. And these people won the case. Sure. They won it because they bought tickets because they thought this one person was in it and the person wasn't. So it was a fraud because they didn't get what they paid for because the trailer lied. Not talking about the story was lying, but the person that was in it. Now think about it. Can this place that he spoke at be sued saying, I bought a ticket because I thought his story was real. I found out it's a fraud. You never know. Something like that.
Not only that, Eric, Gaia TV seems to put all these frauds on Gaia TV. You got, David Wilcock introduced Corey Good. Originally, he was called Paul. They were saying, David Wilcock was saying, my source, Paul, from the secret space program, yada, yada. Then it turned out to be, Emery Smith was Paul. But, we'll get into that all tomorrow. But it's just all a pile of crap. And then Sunday, we have UFO Man coming on with Tom Reed, who's famous for the Berkshire UFO incident, who's the Tom Reed. It's the only UFO incident that's documented true. The governor of the state where it happened, of Berkshire, documented it true. They gave Tom his own park where the UFO incident happened in 1969. So both him and UFO Man will be on the show this Sunday. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that one too, Eric. So it's a big year. We got a lot of big things going on.
Oh yeah, and then after their shows, when I'm gonna premiere the cartoon, don't have the link up yet because I'm still adding in some stuff. I still got to add in some stuff in it, but that's the idea to premiere 2 hours after this show.
And tell me what you think. I changed the banner on top of the.
I noticed that too. I was looking at it like, oh, the banner's different.
Yeah.
You had the word live. Oh, hold on. You have the word live stream.
Yeah, I made that one now.
Oh, you just did it again because you had something different yesterday.
Yeah, I was working on it. It was a work in progress. Yes, now it's done.
And that's you right there.
Yeah.
Look at that. I gotta tell you, I love that. I love that newer S4 logo.
Yeah.
Because I look at that alien. It kind of reminds me when the Seahawks finally changed their bird and made it like more pissed off. When I look at that alien, even though it's based on that jet, whatever, it just makes him look like he's been around the block. He's been fighting. He's been in the war. He's ready to kick your ass.
Well, I figured, new year, bring the show in with a new style, new cases, new information, start the year off right, do everything over.
I'm just, you always got so many great, awesome stuff on here. The new Kennedy, extremely fast UFO. Let's look at some of this one. Let's look at this one again.
Super fast. Holy shit. Birds to my back. Switching this into Twilight.
One of the things I look at this one, because I've seen your videos about people using flares, that couldn't be a flare because it looks like the flickering the color changes colors a little bit. And I would think a flare would stay the same color.
Well, flare would just be orange.
Orange, exactly.
Orange or yellow, gold color.
So right there alone, you could take that part out.
Look how bright that is. This is regular Twilight mode. This is daytime mode. It's fuzzy, but you can still see that object clear as day. Back to Twilight mode. Holy shit.
And right there,
they're gigantic, these objects. We're not talking the size of a basketball. You're talking the size of a school bus, if not bigger. They're pretty big objects coming in.
And I think this footage, because this is your camera, right?
Yeah, that's the Psionic.
And it kind of tells me that it's worth it that you have a better camera to be able to switch like this to get a clearer picture.
Absolutely.
That's one of the differences of why it's important to have a high-end camera to get that focus fire. To do that, not just a camera, you must have probably a good lens, like an extra lens to be able to go up that high.
Oh yeah.
And we are back to day mode. Now we're in night vision. Look at this. That object is booking.
And don't forget,
that's going down, and then another one.
That's coming down, yeah, and another one's passing it. And in the very beginning, I show you
forget to do
that there's no satellites in the sky and where the ISS is and all of that stuff.
Get right back on it before I lose that bad boy. Even at that distance, back to Twilight mode, I'm still seeing the object. Look at that. What a catch. Back to night vision. Still in frame. And that is very far from me, man.
It's way up in space, man.
The other ones that were in it, those were all gone by then? Just that's the only one left?
Wow.
Yeah, the other one that passed was a satellite. This was the only one.
Amazing.
Oh, okay.
I gotta
this
check
was
my
the only one that didn't have any
all
target
I had
information
was,
to it.
Aviation radar up, and I had a plane to my left about 260 feet, but other than that, nothing was in the air. So stand by.
That's another thing I'll tell you.
Attention to this object. I have no idea what it is. It could be a balloon of some kind going up into space. It could be some kind of weather balloon. I have no clue, but it does resemble the object in question.
Now, when you said it could be a weather balloon, but I wouldn't think a weather balloon would make that kind of a line going up.
Deflating. If it's losing air, it'll thin out as it's going up, and the atmosphere gets thinner. The weather balloon shrinks. So sometimes people are like, oh, they're cigar UFOs or whatever. It could be, but I also let you know what it could also be. A weather balloon deflating or losing thickness or helium or whatever the case may be.
I wonder if there's a website or there's some kind of way you can find out. I would think if there's like, say there's 2 weather balloons above our area, that there have to be some kind of report to let people know what's up there. Now, of course, where I live next to the airport, I'm sure they can't put a weather balloon where airplanes come in and out.
Well, don't forget, once they launch it, it's up to the wind where it gets taken. You know what I mean? They can tell you they're gonna launch a weather balloon in New Jersey, right? But that thing can end up in Pittsburgh. They could see it, or
True.
wherever, where Iowa it can end up. Who knows? Wherever the wind takes it takes it as it's going up to space. So,
for a second, this tripped me out for a second. Cosmic, hi sir. I think your flying saucer should arrive today.
I'm probably
like, he sent it out. I'm like, what? Ron's working for the aliens. He's sending out UFOs.
He's sending out UFOs, Ron. Send me and Eric out a UFO so we can fly to you.
And all that. So that's always good stuff. Well, people, tomorrow's is going to be fascinating to learn more about how this guy tricked people. Tricked them. Enough to make. Making $1 million off of
he was engaged to this woman, and he had her believing that he was this secret space assassin, right? And he was leaving her and going with other women and telling her he's going on space missions. He can't talk and all that. I even have his arrest record that I pulled, and it'll show you the days he tells us that he's in space. He actually took collars for like a DWI or high-speed drag racing, and you'll see it's all in his arrest report. But just the bullshit stories that they sell us and the gullible people that believe it, I feel bad for them. And all the money that gets wasted.
And I see that, I saw you missed it, but I saw that my flock donated $1. I want to say I appreciate it very much. It's for you. Yeah. So I'm really excited to learn more about that. And of course, I'm really excited to learn Sunday about.
Sunday we're gonna have a good show.
That. And then I was thinking, I'll probably do a whole show on Thursday, Friday on the Mary Island incident. Maybe I'll bring up different videos so if people don't know that story, because that story is interesting 2 different ways, not just the UFO crash, the Men in Black and everything. So there's a lot of stuff there
to
dissect. So beyond that, everybody have a great day.
Thank
you guys for showing up, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow, because I want to learn more about this guy that doing things just for money. It's money's greed, man. Money's greed. You'd be surprised what people will do for it. But beyond that, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow.